Director. Ladies and gentlemen, we feel very happy to welcome you all for Yoga for Women Health Disorder workshop. May I request our beloved and honorable Director of Sports to welcome the gathering.
Good morning, one and all. On behalf of Director of Sports and Department of Yoga from SRM Institute of Science and Technology, welcome our today speaker, Dr. Lalita Gaurav, Assistant Professor, Department of Yogi Science, LNIPU, Gwalior. Welcome, madam.
Thank you, sir.
And I welcome Dr. M. Sendil Kumar, Head, Department of Yoga, and Coordinator, Dr. Jesus Raj Kumar, the workshop on Yoga for Women, Health and Disorders. And I welcome all the participants from SRM and various parts of India. Welcome, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Sir. Thank you so much for your welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce today's speaker, Mrs. Lalita Gaurav. It gives me immense pleasure and happiness to introduce the young and dynamic speaker of today's workshop. Mrs. Lalita, she is pursuing her postdoctoral program in yoga from ICSSR. She is a net qualified professional with 15 years of experience in research, teaching and instructing yoga, imparting knowledge to yogic scriptures, yoga therapeutic prescriptions and yoga teaching practices. She is working as assistant professor in Department of Yogic Sciences of Lakshmi National Institute of Physical Education, Gwalior for about 8 years. Presented and published research papers in national and international platforms. Authored 2 books. Co-founder of India's Yoga Studio, a yoga therapy center functioning in Gwalior for the past 11 years. Proficient in yoga therapy, yoga counseling, and Vedic chants, educating and certifying the postgraduates and diploma students in yoga with rigorous refinement in yoga therapy and disease management. Deep research experience in study of yogic intervention, benefits on stress, anxiety, psychophysiological status, and body composition. Research person in conference on topics like yoga and sports, stress management, naturopathy, and Ayurvedic, organized by organization of high repute like UGC and National Association of Physical Education and Sports Sciences. About to Mrs. Lalita Gaurav.
Thank you so much, Jesus sir. Thank you so much, Mohan
Thank
sir.
you, ma'am. Thank you.
It's a great opportunity that you have given, and it's a privileged platform actually to share a virtual platform with you all. First of all, my namaskar, vanakkam from Gwalior. We'll start with a small prayer, and we'll get into the course. So I would request you all to sit relaxed, close your eyes, and gently listen to the Vedic mantra following a small shloka, and then we'll move into the today's workshop's theme. Om Bhadrang Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devaः Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraः Sthirairangaiः Stuštuvagum Sastanubhiः Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuः Swasti na Indro Vruddhashavaः Swasti na Pusha Vishvavedaः Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemihi Swasti no brihaspati'r dadhatu. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for the patience. Today the topic is on women health and basically women disorders. But here in the platform, I find very few women, but definitely lot many men. I think this workshop will throw light upon those facets, what you do not know, and perhaps even helpful for your daughters, for your sisters, and for your wives. Hopefully, it would be of help to you. So I'm going to share my screen. Might take a few minutes, please excuse me. Am I audible? Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you. So it has been said in the Manusmriti, Yatra Naryastu Pujyante Ramante Tatra Devataha, Yatrostu na Pujyante Sarvas Tatra Aphala Kriyaha, which means the women are supposed to be praised as deities, as divine goddesses. If they are praised, if they are celebrated well, if they are treated well, then all the deities are very happy. They do their own jobs, like rain comes at the right moment, like, the summer and springs at the right moment. The nature is completely in line with the dharma. But if they are not celebrated, all the works that we do, all the performances that we do go futile, go worthless. That's what Manusmriti and Veda also believe in. So women have always been praised in our Indic culture. I believe God has created women to hold and behold his creations, because she, as a mother, as a sister, as a wife, as a companion, does her job in a beautiful manner, where she can show varied aspects of her own self. Starting from her day's work in the morning, starting from the breakfast, idli dosai, till going to office, doing her official duties, coming back again, taking care of the family. She is doing a dual job. And it is but natural that she gets stimulated by the work pressure, and also by her own real nature. Women are basically hypersensitive and emotional, and that's how their nature is being formed by the Lord. So it is but natural for them to get stressful, and hence they, because of their stress and the habit of not taking care of their dietary regulations, they get into disorders. So for all the women out here, there's a huge cry from myself that, look, there are situations, there are opposing situations, even in odds and evens, you are there, you're present, you're working. But why not we change our attitude towards the situations? Why not we have a kind of right mental attitude? I'll not call it as a positive attitude. Sometimes positive attitude might be befooling, but right mental attitude towards situation. So we'll come to that. We'll try to understand what it is while we move into the yogic frame of this theme, of this workshop. Before that, we will try to understand a little bit about health disorders. This is going to be a little scientific. It might be a little boring, but please, if you feel that I'm boring or I'm taking too much of your time, please let me know. I'll try to speak in Tamil also, so that it will be easier for you to understand in between. So basically, the women health disorders are 3 in classification. 1, gynecologicals. 2, disorders associated with infertility. That is gaining really very much, prominence in society these days because of this post-modern era, what we call as, and there are other conditions where women may fall into disorders. Now, the basic disorders that women have can be divided into menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, amenorrhea, dysmenorrhea, oligomenorrhea, and polymenorrhea. So there are more rheas here. We'll try to what each rhea mean. Okay. So other than the gynecological conditions I've mentioned, there are infertility conditions that is happening. Endometriosis is very, very common with women of age 40 to 50. And this is the disease condition where the lining of the uterus, what we call as endometrial tissue, grows outside the uterus. It has to be inside, it grows outside. It can be in your ovaries, it can be in the fallopian tube, it can be elsewhere also. The second important thing what Jesus sir also wanted me to talk about is PCOS, and many call it as PCOD, right? So polycystic ovary disorder, or a syndrome we call it as, and this is found very, very common in young girls. Young girls starting from the age of 15 to 30. And this is an infertility disorder. So this is really endangering for the future generations of this great nation. And the third is the premature ovarian failure. There are uterine fibroids that we see. And, every one of the female disorders that we see is a sign of a hormonal imbalance. And when we go to the etymology, the cause of the disease, it is always two. Okay. One, the hormonal imbalance is because of improper eating habits. Improper eating habits, I don't talk about junk foods, but I'm talking about having proper regular meals at regular intervals, which we are not doing as women. And two is, about it, sleeplessness, watching serials, watching smartphones. And this is basically because of stress. We call it as stress. Why is it stress? Why is it, a third grade student having stress? Because stress is random mind. If your mind is very, very acting quick, excessively quick with your thoughts, that is called as stress, according to Dr. Selly and Levy. So we get all the problems like acne, insomnia, black eyes, tiredness, low sexual desires, night sweats, food cravings, weight gain, and other disorders. And this stress manifests in different forms. It can be pain, it can be headaches, it can be migraine, it can be, gastrointestinal disorder, it can be sweats, it can be, oral infections, everything is because of stress. Somebody asked me, don't kid me, ma'am. How is that my physical disorder is related to mind? World Health Organization, அவங்க 2010 டிக்ளேர் பண்ணாங்க, உலகத்துல இருக்கிற எல்லா ரோகங்களையும் எடுத்து அதுல 83% எவ்வளவு ரோகங்கள் இருக்கோ எல்லாமே மனசுலேந்து உண்டாக்கப்படக்கூடியது. மனசனுடைய உற்பத்தியிலேந்து, அதாவது நம்மளுடைய எண்ணங்கள் உற்பத்தியிலேந்து வரக்கூடிய ரோகம் அப்படின்னு ஒரு பெரிய டிக்ளரேஷன் கொடுத்தாங்க. So from then we started to analyze, this is not the cause of disease. Okay, if I'm going to run, my weight is getting lost, but initially it is just the water loss. ஏன் எனக்கு இன்னும் weight அப்படியே ஸ்டாண்டர்டா இருக்கு? Why is my hormones not functioning properly? And then people try to understand, எனக்கு ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் இருக்கு, எனக்கு யோகம் பண்ணணும், நான் போகணும், நான் ஸ்டூடியோக்கு போகணும், நான் ஒரு யோகா கிளாஸஸ எப்படி கத்துக்கணுமோ பேட்டர்ன் வைஸ் கத்துக்கணும், இப்படிங்கிற ஒரு சின்ன அவேர்னஸ் சொசைட்டில வர ஆரம்பிச்சது. Now, why is yoga playing a vital role in all women health disorders? ஏங்கிறத முதல்ல பார்ப்போம், எப்படிங்கிறத அப்புறம் பார்ப்போம். Yoga has this, therapeutic aspect, which it takes from a scripture called Yoga Vashishta. 5,000 years ago, this Yoga Vashishta, Laghu Yoga Vashishta was written, and it was scripted in such a manner that Rishi Vashishta is telling stories to Rama, explaining him the theories of Vedanta and also philosophy of yoga. அப்படி சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டே இருக்கும்போது ராமருடைய ஒரு கேள்வி, எப்படி ஏன் இந்த மாதிரி துக்கங்கள், ஏன் இந்த மாதிரியான உடல் ரீதியான உடல் சம்பந்தமான கஷ்டங்கள் ஏன் வருது? So Vashishta was actually replying that, look Rama, when you have too much of attachments, when you have repetitive thinkings, that is the source of all உடல் ரீதியான கஷ்டங்கள் அப்படின்னு சொல்றார். ரெப்படிட்டிவ் திங்கிங், அதாவது ஒரு எண்ணம், இரண்டாவது, மூன்றாவது, இந்த 3 எண்ணங்களுக்கு நடுவுல கேப்பே இல்லாம சட்டுன்னு வருது பாத்தீங்களா, அத ஆதின்னு சொல்லி கொடுக்கிறார் வசிஷ்ட மகர்ஷி. And that is called ஆதிஜ வியாதி. Now what does yoga do in these kinds of diseases? அந்த ஆதிய எப்படி ஒழிக்கலாம், அதுதான் யோகத்தினுடைய பெரிய கோல். How do you cut off the repetitive thinking? ஆசனம் பண்ணி, பிராணாயாமம் பண்ணி, பக்தி மார்க்கம் வழியா இந்த மாதிரி 4-5 நல்ல வார்த்தைகள் கேட்டோம்னா நம்ம மனசு யோசிக்க தோணுது, ஒரு விதமான ஒரு ஏகாகிரதமான ஒரு கான்சென்ட்ரேஷனான ஒரு ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு போகுது. ரேண்டம் திங்கிங் போக மாட்டேங்குது. ரேண்டம் ரெப்படிட்டிவ் திங்கிங்னா என்ன, ரெப்படிட்டிவ் திங்கிங்னா என்னங்கிறத பார்ப்போம். ரேண்டம் ரெப்படிட்டிவ் திங்கிங்னா ஒரு எண்ணத்துல இருந்து இன்னொரு எண்ணத்துக்கு நம்ம போகும்போது சம்பந்தமே இல்லாம, ஒரு த்ரெட்டே இல்லாம நம்ம யோசிப்போம் இல்லையா, அதுதான் ஆதி. அது ஒரு பெரிய கொடூரமான ஒரு வியாதிக்கு காரணமான ஒரு ரூட் காஸ் அப்படின்னு வசிஷ்டர் சொல்றார். So for that people are working upon, சில பேர் ஜிம்ஸுக்கு போறார், சில பேர் யோகாக்கு போறார், சில பேர் ஹார்மோன் ரீப்ளேஸ்மெண்ட் தெரப்பி அப்படின்னு நிறைய தெரபிஸ் அலோபதியில இருக்கு, ஹோமியோபதி போறாங்க, ஆயுர்வேதா போறாங்க, நிறைய விஷயங்கள் இருக்கு. But there is no real solution. I'll tell you why. ஏங்கிறத அப்புறம் சொல்றேன். என்னெல்லாம் ப்ராப்ளம்ங்கிறது நம்ம இப்ப தெரிஞ்சுப்போம். யாருக்கெல்லாம் ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தியான பீரியட்ஸ் இருக்கும், அத மெனோராஜியான்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. 7 நாளைக்கு மேல கூட சில பேர் கஷ்டப்படுவாங்க. இது it's basically because of decreased progesterone level. Progesterone ஒரு ஹார்மோன் இருக்கு, அது குறைஞ்சதுன்னா இந்த மாதிரி ஆகும். இதனுடைய கூட PCOD வரலாம். And because of that, there can be cysts form in the ovaries. And this is also called as abnormal uterine bleeding. ரெண்டாவது மெட்ரோராஜியா. மெட்ரோராஜியாங்கிறது just a moment.
Ma'am, please speak in English. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, please speak in English.
மேடம் நீங்க கண்டினியூ பண்ணுங்க மேடம்.
Are you all there? Hello?
Yes ma'am, எல்லாம் இருக்கோம். நீங்க ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க. கண்டினியூ பண்ணுங்க. நீங்க கண்டினியூ பண்ணுங்க.
Sorry. There was a question that I should speak in English.
மேடம் you comfortable, தமிழ்ல கேட்டா தமிழ்ல பேசுங்க, இங்கிலீஷ்ல பேசினா இங்கிலீஷ்ல பேசுங்க, ஹிந்தில கேட்டா ஹிந்தில பேசுங்க.
No problem, ma'am.
Okay, I can speak in English. I can speak in English.
Thank you.
Metrorrhagia is another disorder which where there is the periods becomes irregular. And this is one kind of disease which is found in all young females. And the basic reason behind this is not drinking proper water, not hydrating themselves properly, and usage of maida, refined flour, like pizza, biscuits, bread, all these refinement that had come, refined sugar has come, all these refinement that had come into the diet has, led us to metrorrhagia. It also leads to poor functioning of ovaries, which is not good for young girls. This is the condition which also can have, PCOD with it. So ovaries can get this cyst because of metrorrhagia too. And people with metrorrhagia also have problems like miscarriage and all. People say, why is this miscarriage? I didn't know. I was very, very careful. Perhaps they might have a problem of metrorrhagia. So that's the reason why miscarriages are very, very frequent. The next is polymenorrhea. Polymenorrhea is that disease which comes in between 21 days. It's very, very short, very, very short, quick period cycles. And this is because of short luteal cycle, luteal phase, we call it as. And because of this, people, young girls don't conceive properly. There is problem in conception, and this is because of polymenorrhea. Again, polymenorrhea, also has problems like endometriosis, adenomyosis. Adenomyosis is a problem where the endometrial tissues grows inside the uterus. It has to be on the outside lining of the uterine wall, but it grows inside. Nobody understands what is the cause. Why are these cells behaving, in an improper manner? What is the cause behind all these disorders? Nobody understands. But yoga understands, Vasishtha Maharshi understands this to be stress, adi. Now we are coming to the most common problem that we all have, all women have, is PCOS. Thankfully, I don't have, I should not say we. Women with PCOS can have heavy menstrual period, can have low menstrual period, can have scanty flow, can have irregular periods. All these are leading to infertility. Mind you that it is very, very common. Every 10 girls you will find PCOS, and this at the age of 24, 25, when they are thinking of marrying and getting child, becomes very, very difficult. And this and the basic reason is PCOS. And the cause of PCOS, if you go behind the etymology, allopathy says it is idiopathic. What is idiopathy? There is no cause. They do not know what's the cause. Doctors themselves don't know what's the cause. They just say lifestyle disorder. What is lifestyle disorder? When you can get up early in the morning, when you can have frequent meals at the proper time, when you can sleep at the proper time, then that is proper lifestyle. If there is imbalance in the lifestyle, then you get lifestyle disorder. That is one. So disciplining life. Disciplining, Atha Yoga Anushasanam we say. The first sutra of yoga is Anushasanam, disciplining. Okay, so disciplining life can get rid of, can help in getting rid of PCOS. And the second cause that they say, that they don't say it as a cause, but PCOS always is coupled with elevated blood sugar levels. So remind you, PCOS girls can have diabetes also. Even more worse, because when you get diabetes, you are infertile more. So development of PCOS is not a good thing, and it has to be taken care of right at the proper age by doing yoga, by making the lifestyle changes. Oligomenorrhea is another disorder where it exceeds 35 days. More than 35 days it comes, and very little periods, if you could count the periods, number of periods in a year. So it would be very, very less. And it is also a problem. It happens, it is natural when it is during menopause, perimenopause, and postmenopause. But if you are not in those phases, in that particular age, if oligomenorrhea happens, you have some problem. Amenorrhea, some people will not get periods at all. I've treated personally a woman who hadn't got period for 21 years. And she was so happy after having, after 3 months of yoga, she was so happy. She came to me, and then she told me in my ears that, I got my period today. So how big a relief that woman would have got. So I think it's high time that every woman understands to take care of her own health in terms of diet, in terms of lifestyle, and also do some proper yogic exercises. I'll come to yogic exercise a little while later. What are the causes of amenorrhea? If you're obese, overly weight, then also amenorrhea can happen. If you over-exercise, some people go to gym and exercise too much, that is also a real cause. If you have an allergy, if you have any kind of steroidal medication, then also you can get amenorrhea. You don't get a period at all. PCOS can also get coupled with amenorrhea. So PCOS is like sarva it's omnipresent. It's everywhere. Dysmenorrhea, this is a problem which I find in 95% of females. There is periods, but very, very uncomfortable, very, very heavy, very, very painful. So a little amount of pain is natural because there are uterine contractions happening. So that is called primary dysmenorrhea. You cannot evade that problem. But secondary dysmenorrhea is very, very, the intensity is very high. So it needs some kind of therapy. It needs some kind of medications. So Ayurveda can be done. And again, you can see in my slides, there are dietary regulations that I'm speaking. If you have muscle cramps, you need magnesium, you need potassium, you need calcium. So fresh fruits, paneer, milk products. If you have good source of milk coming to your house, you should grab onto it, make paneer, have curd, buttermilks, and soy products can also help. And apart from that, stress should be relieved. So de-stressing drinks, detox drinks are there. You all know about it. There are ginger, pudina drinks that you can have to de-stress yourself. It is just not physical, because we have to treat the adi there. We have to treat the repetitive attachments, random thoughts that we have. So yoga plays a vital role in this. So 2 solutions, dear. For all the women out there, remember, there are 2 solutions. One, you need to take care of your adi. You need to take care of your stress. You think there is no stress, my dear sister, my dear mother, please understand, there is random thinking, there is stress. So you need to sit and relax. You need to breathe. You need to understand the significance of doing yoga. 2, the second solution is good food at right time. Now, I take dinners at 9, it's okay. No, 9 p.m. is not the time for the dinner. 7:30 p.m. is the right time for the dinner. I take breakfast at 10 o'clock. I eat lunch at 10:30. Does not cater to all what you do. A food is just not making your, abdomen full, but the food has to cater to all the requirements that you do. If you are a lecturer, you need, energy to speak. If you are a person, an administrator, you need energy to think. If you are a pathologist, you need energy to decide, right? So every mental activity, every physical activity has to be taken care of with the particular diet. Okay, so proper diet and yoga. What are the yogic techniques which can help women? Before understanding yogic techniques, can I take 3 responses? What, according to you, is yoga? Can any 3 unmute themselves and say?
Madam, can I answer?
Yes, please.
I'm Dr. Nitya from Biotechnology Department. What I understand out of yoga is I could see that yoga like keeps us away from a lot of mental stress of late, because yoga is not only for physical activity, it's a kind of
No, you're talking
mental
about the
activity.
benefits of yoga.
Yeah, what
but
I understood.
yeah, I want the meaning of yoga, dear.
Meaning yoga, what we get out of it.
Oh,
Can you
yoga
say,
is
ma'am?
the benefit.
I don't know the technical meaning. Maybe what I feel is a blissful feeling actually.
Good. Okay. Shanmuga Priya, you raised your hand. Or if it is Dr. Shanmuga Priya, I'm very sorry, Dr. Shanmuga Priya. Yes, you can unmute and tell me. Okay, Kanchana ji, please.
Yes, yes. Yoga means union, ma'am.
Yoga means union. You're a yoga student, I can say that.
Yes, ma'am. It's a physical and mental body union.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much, Shanmuga Priya. Thank you so much, Kanchana ji. Thank you so much, Nitya ji. Yoga, according to yoga, yoga is that which is a state which provides mental calmness. What is bliss? Nitya ma'am was asking, mentioning about bliss, right? But what is bliss? If you are happy within, without any kind of cause, then that is bliss. If you get a ticket, free ticket to somewhere, to Dubai, you're happy. Free ticket to Dubai is the cause for you to become happy. But yoga says you need to be happy without any cause. That is bliss. So the blissful state is yoga. Exercising is not yoga. Taking your head down to the knee joint is not yoga. Pulling your head above, leg above is not yoga. Yoga is not union again. Because if union you consider as yoga, nobody has ever united ourselves to Paramatman. So it is the end state that we are talking about. It is the destiny that we are talking about. The destination that we are talking about. But right now, where are we? We are just in the journey, right? So what do we have to do in the journey of yoga? As I said, Rishi Vashishta has given definition for Rama. And that is, Manaf Prashamana Upayaha Yogaha Ityabhidiyate. Look, you do anything for that matter. While you're listening to me, if your mind is getting calm, then you are not listening to me, you are doing yoga there. If you are, performing some asanas, Paschimottanasana, or doing Anuloma Viloma Pranayama, Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama, okay? But your mind is going towards, oh my God, the pressure cooker is already in the kitchen. Is it the second whistle or the third whistle? Then you're not doing yoga, you're not doing pranayama. So the mind has to calm down. What does calming down of mind means? Going thoughtless. The mind is always a monkey. Swami Vivekananda used to say, mind is like a monkey. He didn't stop there. The mind is a monkey which had, which has been bitten by a scorpion. And he didn't stop there. He said, the mind is like a monkey which is bitten by the scorpion and also had drunk alcohol. So it can move from one tree to another tree very, very easily, very random, no thread, no underlying thread. Patanjali says, when you could master this monkey mind. Now what is happening? I'm listening to my mind and I'm doing it. Oh my God, when I reach home, when I finish off all my job from the office, I'll get an ice cream. And you do it. You get the ice cream and then you leave to home. There's nothing wrong in it. But remember, it is the mind that had instructed you and you're doing the job. So who is the master here? The mind, is it not? This definitely means you are in ayogya. In Tamil, we say ayogya, no? Ayogam. What is ayogam means? That state where you cannot, you're a dominant servant to your mind. You do whatever the mind says. Rishi Patanjali says you need to master the mind. So if the asana can help you master your mind, if the asana, if the pranayama can help you get out of social media attractions, then that asana becomes yoga, that pranayama becomes yoga. I can say another example. If you play veena, and by playing veena, if you could relax your mind, all the inhibitions are settled down, and you instruct your mind, for the next 30 minutes, you're not going to do anything. If you can do that, playing veena becomes yoga. Otherwise, we are all ayogyas. So, mastery over mind. Why is this important? Why mind has to be mastered? What's the reason? I'm happy. I'm okay. I'm happy being a servant to my mind. There comes Taittiriya Upanishad, giving us full picture of what we are. Look, you think your existence to be this name, to be this form, to be the person who is doing postdoctoral in yoga, to be a person who has published research papers, so many introduction Jesus sir has given for me. Every time we think that the attributes are us, the name that we have is us. Every time we think the form that we have is us, we are doing a great mistake. Upanishad says, listen dear, you have 5 states of existence. You are not this body only. You are not this Annamaya Kosha only. You are Pranamaya Kosha, your Manomaya Kosha, your Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha, and beyond also, which means you're also this body, you're also this mind, you're also the energy within, you're also the intellect within, you're also the blissful silence, the bliss, which has no cause, as I mentioned, which does not depend upon any cause. That is Ananda. And you know what? Your real existence lies beyond this Anandamaya Kosha, Upanishad says. Now what are we doing? We are gaining power for body. We are eating food for body. We are doing some exercise of our body and energy. That's it. We are not taking care of our mind. We are not taking care of what is called intellect. We do not know what's the difference between mind and intellect only. No? So we are not taking care of that. Adi occurs only when there is dominance of Manomaya Kosha or Vijnanamaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha. When your mind dominates your intellect. Intellect is that which comes out of samskaras. Your parents have given, your experiences have given that this is right, this is wrong. You have to do what is right. Ask a diabetic, he will always have a prayer for rasgulla. He knows that is not right for his, he has to take an extra insulin, but he will do it. He will take an extra insulin and have rasgulla. What is happening here? You're becoming a servant, dominant servant to your mind. And hence he remains diabetic. Similarly, all women health problems. Why is hypothalamus not giving the right information to your pituitary? Why is pituitary not giving the right information, right signal to your ovaries? You tell me. It has to be originally so. You cannot go inside, put a dupe and see what's happening inside. But there is a dupe called yoga. Okay, there is a small coil called yoga, which you can, go inside and see. Oh my God, attachments. My repetitive thoughts is creating this HPA axis. We call this as HPA axis, hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis going wrong. There is wrong passage of information. That is why my ovaries are not functioning properly. That is why my uterus is not functioning properly. So yoga gives very, very nice techniques to enhance the physiology of women, the inner physiology, the functioning, the reproductive functioning of women, and also thereby relaxing the mind. So there are low intensity loosening exercises called initial warm up, what we call a Shitlkarna Vyayama. There are breathing exercises. It is not pranayama. The breathing exercises are different and pranayama is different. There's Sukshma Ayama called subtle strengthening exercises propounded by Dhirendra Brahmachari. Asanas for stability of mind and body. Pranayama for relaxation, calming down your mind. And there is something called DRT, what we call a Shavasana, which helps in speedy recovery and brings in blissful experience, like Nityaji told us. Now, what, according to yoga and Indic culture, the phase of menstruation is? Why all these females have some or the other menstrual discomfort? What went wrong? What has to be originally? Okay, what did our ancestors talk about? These people say that, okay, when you have periods, you don't go to puja room, you don't go to temples, you don't visit churches, you are relaxed, you are there. This is not because they treat you as a person unclean. This is not because it is our shaucha, but they understand that this is a period where hormones race a lot. There is follicle stimulating phase, there is luteal phase, and there is an end phase. So there's these hormones. What do? They create emotional fluctuations. How can you be relaxed in a temple when you have these emotional fluctuations? You tell me. How can you stand in a line? You will be easily frustrated. Temple is a place where you should gain peace by the darshana, right? But instead, if you go there with this phase, then you will be easily irritated. Hence, what did they do? They didn't want you to, get away from the religious practices and spiritual practices. They also call this period as tapaha. It is an extremely significant, prominent phase where you can do austerity. So what is austerity here? Closing your eyes and doing om, om, om. No. Tapa is, I was actually teaching my kids also what does tapa mean. So they are trying to do one kind of tapa here. So tapa is tyaga, is sacrifice. What you love, you need to sacrifice. So what happens if you love curd rice, and without curd rice, your lunch doesn't end? You try to skip curd rice 2 times and see what's happening in your mind. The mind starts to become a master. And there, if you could master your mind with this tapa, there is winning. There is mastery over mind. My kids had told me Monday till Friday, no TV, mama. We'll only watch TV on Saturdays and Sundays. That is tapa for them. So simple things can become austerity in life. Now, Other than, austerity, this is a period of purification. All the bad endometrial tissue is getting out, and you are also weaning away all the bad habits, all the bad intentions about people. So this is actually self-purification process. This phase of every woman has to be treated solitary. That's why people say, go relax on your bed. You be alone. You try to take the name of the Lord. You try to sing. You try to chant shlokas and stotras. Now they are paying money for mantra yoga. But few years ago, ancestors were very right about how a woman can embellish herself, enhance her personality during these a critical phase of every month that is coming. Why did they want us to chant? Why did they want us to spend time alone? Why did they want us to relax? One, we don't get vacation at all. No woman gets vacation. Okay, so for that vacation, we have at least 3 days vacation from the household chores. Fun apart, jokes apart, there are 3 deities that are involved in this phase of women: Soma, Agni, and Gandharva. There's no Soma up, in the 7th cloud, waiting for you and bless you. No, Soma is inside you. All the deities are the positive faculties that reside in you. And Veda gives just a form and a name for that, right? As a symbol. Now, what is Soma? The Soma is the aesthetic sense, the moon in you, right? So this is the perfect time for you to spend in arts. Okay, you can paint, you can sing, you can dance, whatever you want to do. Embroidery, you do embroidery. No, Soma is very strong at this phase. 2, Agni. Agni is what I call as passion. The one who gives Agnimi ile purohitam yagyam tadevam ritwijam hota aram ratnadhatamam. He is the person who can instill passion in you. If you are a professional, if you are an administrator, make decisions, make your protocol. Decisions can be made then and there very wisely, because Agni is very strong at this phase. If you are a professor, I'm a professor, I talk to myself. If you are a professor, you need to do all the jobs at this particular time. You try to do all your jobs. Your every minute task, piece of work shall be done effectively, because Agni, the passion giver, is very strong. The 3rd is Gandharva. Gandharva is the god of songs and chantings and all. So he is also the beauty giver. He is also the lord of beauty. So he gives beauty, because he sheds all the impurity out, and you get the tejas back. So I request all the women out here, period is no period. Okay. Period is a strong phase of purity, where you can strengthen your profession, strengthen your art skills, strengthen your chanting and beauty. Now, hence, I want you to engage yourself in this time by singing, chanting shlokas, Skanda Shashti Kavasam, and do something artistic. We have started to hate this phase. This went wrong, dear. This went wrong. What we call, I am down. I said, don't say that. Why are you down? You're up with periods. You have to be very strong. You have to be proud about it, that you're a woman. You are strong with this deity's support. You have to be happy. Now, this is the time to purify. All the woman needs to purify and introvert. See the divine inside. This is the best time. See the inner latent potentials and take it out in a beautiful manner. And period is not just happening in the Annamaya Kosha. So you need to take care of Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, strengthen your intellect and be blissful without any reason, without any cause. Okay. So that's about it. So a little about yogic techniques, like hands in and out breathing, ankle stretch breathing, forward, backward bending, tiger breathing, Shashankasana, straight leg raise breathing, butterfly can help, Pavan Muktasana Kriya can help, spinal twist can help. All the asanas and kriyas can be done, kriyas in the sense, the physical kriyas, can be done during the menstruations, except for inversions. So be happy and do yoga even during those periods. Surya Namaskara is a very good form of exercise. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. It is good for joints. It regulates menstrual cycle. It treats insomnia. It helps in digestion. It also balances hormones. It keeps your skin healthy. It keeps your gut healthy. Very good form of exercise. And there are other asanas which can help. That is Bhujangasana, Paschimottanasana, Ushtrasana, Sukta Vajrasana. I feel like I should treat you all with all these asanas if you can instruct, but I know it is just, being on the desk. But definitely I'll make you do a small form of meditation, which also involves breathing practice. And that is, okay, before that, Halasana is also an important asana, Viparita Karani. Very, very helpful in hormonal balance. Very, very helpful. You can do this with the wall support also. Matsyasana, very, very good for thyroid imbalances and also other hormonal imbalances. Very sorry. Dhanurasana can help. Shashankasana can help. Invariably, after all these asanas, remember you should be doing at least 10 to 15 minutes guided meditation through Shavasana. Do not lie down and close your eyes. Always listen to the instructions and try to follow them. It has to be guided. Pranayama is immensely worthy for women. Bastrika Pranayama, Nadi Shuddhi, Ujjayi Pranayama, Brahmari Pranayama is a beautiful connection between mind and prana. Everybody knows, all the yoga students out there knows this sutra of Hatha Pradipika. Chale vate chale chittam nishchalam nischale bhavet yogi sthanatvam tato vayum nirodhayet, which means wherever your breath goes, there and then your mind goes. So if you're going to regulate your breath, it is going to regulate your mind too. It also can help in Nadi's purification. What is Nadi? Nadi is the energy channel. We have blood vessels for blood. We have Nadis for prana channelization. So Nadi has to be pure to keep your antaranga, your inner limbs pure. So this is possible through pranayama. There are many other benefits of pranayama: respiratory, digestive. It is also hugely, immensely beneficial for your immune system, alimentary canal, and it is very, very important for karmic purging. Okay, if you believe in karma theory, if you believe that karma has to be dissolved, pranayama really helps in dissolving karma also. Okay, pranayama, there are many research works. There are research evidences that I've mentioned here. It helps in increase of oxygen saturation, very, very essential at this COVID times. Is very helpful in pregnancy. Bhastrika also helps in oxygen concentration, opening up of nasal airways, helps in force vital capacity enhancement, lung capacity enhancement. Bandhas are equally very, very helpful. There's Om meditation and Nada Anusandhana. Nada Anusandhana. if we have a quick 10 minutes time, if SRM management could give, I can make Nadanusandana. I can instruct Nadanusandana for you people. Before pregnancy, yoga is also very, very helpful. You know, long gones are the time where, you know, people want, you know, to lie only on the bed while they are pregnant. Now every pregnant believes and truly accepts that being active is more important during this pregnancy. It helps in parturition, in easy childbirth. It helps from their lower back pain, nausea, carpal tunnel syndrome, many preterm problems are there. So it also helps in lowering the hypertension. I'm going to end the session with one small Bhagavad Gita shloka and also Tirukkural. Sorry for the Tamil, because I have to end this with the Tamil note. Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha sukeshu vigataspruhaha vitaraga bhaya krodaha sitadhir muniruchyate. Krishna says, at times of misery, when a person is sturdy like a mountain, not even cared about the miserable situations, and at times when he is very, very happy and, you know, he is given an opportunity, you know, great opportunity to be happy, still he is sturdy like a mountain, very, very neutral, not excited about the happy situation. He who is free from raga, bhaya, krodha, which means attachments, fear and anger, he is not a person, he is a muni, he calls. And I want all the women out there to follow this principle of yoga. It is real practical implementation of philosophy of yoga. It is just not in your head. It is just not practicing asana pranayama. But in the miserable situation, how hard, neutral and accepting you are. And in the happy situations, how non-excited and relaxed you are. We are all emotional, hypersensitive, accepted. But can we transform? Can we transform our behavior? Can we change a right attitude to the situations? That's the question. I'm also gonna quote Thiruvalluvar here, because without him, you know, it goes futile. Orumayul aamai pol aindadakkal aatrin எழுநம்யும் ஏமா புடைத்து. அடக்கமுடைமையுடைய அதிகாரம் 125, 126. எப்படி ஒரு ஆமை எல்லா புலன்களையும் உள்ள கொண்டு வந்து எந்த ஒரு எனிமி கிட்ட இருந்தும் எந்த ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் கிட்ட இருந்தும் தன்னை தானே ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறதோ, அந்த மாதிரி நம்மளுடைய மனசு, நம்மளுடைய இந்திரியங்கள் எல்லா புலன்களையும் அடக்கி நம்ம உள்ள வச்சுட்டு இருந்தோம்னா, அதாவது உள்ளனா மனசுக்குள்ள இல்ல, உள்ள இருக்கிற அந்த தேவன், உள்ள இருக்கிற அந்த டிவினிட்டி, அவனுக்குள்ளேயே வச்சுக்கிட்டு இருந்தோம்னா, எழுமையும் ஏமா புடைத்து 7 ஜன்மங்களுக்கு உள்ள சின்ஸ், பாவங்களிலிருந்து நம்ம வந்து நம்மளே ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ண முடியும். எப்படி அந்த ஆமை ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணிக்குது அந்த மாதிரி அப்படின்னு திருவள்ளுவர் எவ்வளவு அழகா சொல்லியிருக்கு. I hope this workshop was very, very helpful to you. I hope this can bring in some kind of awareness. I hope this would be an inspiration for you to join yoga, an inspiration for you to practice the philosophy of yoga. I don't think so there would be time for practice. So I put a virama, put a full stop to my lecture here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity given to all the learned members, administrators of SRM University.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lalita.
Thank
That
you,
was
sir.
so wonderful, Dr. Lalita. The last 1 hour has enriched us more to know about yoga and the goodness that happens when we do yoga regularly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to propose vote of thanks for the workshop. It gives me great pleasure to propose vote of thanks for this workshop on yoga for women health disorders. I thank our today's resource person, Dr. Mrs. Lalita Gaurav, Assistant Professor, Department of Yogic Science, LNAP, Gwalior, for accepting our invitation and gave a wonderful presentation to all the participants. In spite of her busy schedule, she readily accepted our request and she has given a lot of goodness and wellness through yoga for women health disorders. I thank her once again. Thank you, Dr. Lalita.
Thank you, sir.
I thank our Director of Sports, Dr. R. Mohankrishnan, who is our driven force behind us to do the things in a great way. I thank all my department faculty members, PhD scholars, and all the supporting staffs for rendering their hard work for the successful completion of this workshop. I thank our SRMIST management, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, and all the deans and directors of SRMIST for their continued support for the successful completion of this workshop. Last but not least, I thank all the participants who are present over here for this workshop. Thank you, one and all. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.